is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Addy, there he is. What's up, baby? How you doing?
I'm good, man. See, that's why you're the pro, baby. That's why you're the pro's pro. The segues and transitions like that, man, I'm honored to be on this stage with you.
Oh, look. Wait a minute. I am honored too, but today we're at Slomin's. We're here in Long Island, right? We're here in Hicksville, Long Island, and they brought us the man here, Alarmo, right? They gave us an Alarmo, and I've been talking about that. We've got to put alarmos on top of our roofs so we can scare away all the birds and everything else. And if you watch Alarmo in the commercials, he's intimidating, right? All of a sudden now, Alarmo has shown up here in the studios. Yes.
Alarmo.
Yes, right here in the OK Coin studios that are moving around. And Marcel, you now are sharing the stage with Alarmo. How about
we got celebrities abound, man. I wish Alarmo was on my mom's roof this morning. We got guys installing solar panels. That's why I'm here in the car. But he could have scared them off for at least an hour or so. Like, hey man, woo, you're messing with the vibes. Like that's illegal in a couple different states.
Think about this: 5 Alarmos in front of Tua. Now we're talking, baby. Super Bowl. We're trucking. We're running for 2,000 yards. Tua's throwing for 6,000 yards, crushing Marino's records. Everybody's going, hey, I thought they couldn't be an explosive offense. And there you go. It's all explosive right there. 5 Alarmos. That's what I challenge Chris Greer to sign 5 Alarmos. Can we duplicate you somehow? Can we clone you?
Offensive success is all in the Alarmos. That's what they always say.
5 Alarmos. Thank you, Alarmo. I appreciate you, my brother. Don't kick my ass. All right. Anyway, so there's Alarmo ready to kick ass for you. And 1-800-ALARM-ME. How about that? There you go. There you go. All right. I love it. Anyway, we are out here at Slomin's. These people are just absolutely fantastic, man. Having a great time out here at Slomin's. All right. So how you feeling, man? You feeling good?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I'm out in California right now, helping my mom move out. Dusting off a lot of nostalgic items you see right here. I've got the high school, the Valley Christian Academy warm-up jacket. Won a lot of games in this thing. One of the top Division 7 teams in the state of California. But size doesn't matter. I gotta tell you though, man, this thing is turning me off a little bit to the idea of owning a home or being in a home. There's so much stuff here from the past 20 plus years of my life. She's moving. She's got movers without doxing her completely. She's got movers coming tomorrow to pick up boxes, and they're numbered, right? Like the boxes are numbered. Everything they needed. There are 72 boxes. Oh,
I know.
There's 72.
I'm old too, bro. I'm old too.
I can't do it.
That's got 25 years of stuff inside of it from our 2 homes. So yeah, I know exactly what she's going through and everything that you collected. By the way, you just broke my heart yesterday when you posted that bottle of Pepsi or Coke or whatever the hell it is. And it's a bottle that just reminds me of San Francisco beating the Dolphins and Dan Marino, dude, in the Super Bowl. That was painful memories you brought up there on the Twitter.
I'm not gonna lie. As soon as when I picked it up, she had this cardboard box full of bottles of drinks of various assortments. Not a big drinker, so I see a bottle of Don Julio unopened. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and take this back to Miami with me. And then I find the one with the 7-Eleven logo on it, and I said, oh, this is cool. And I mean, I kind of started laughing. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw where exactly it was from, I had to do some quick math, and this opens up a whole different debate on why the hell the Super Bowl uses Roman numerals still. So I had to do some math about what Super Bowl that was, realized that thing is older than I am.
Oh yeah.
By like a good 8 to 10 years, give or take.
Yeah.
When was that? That was what, 85?
85, yes.
So,
85.
So 7
I remember
years.
it very well, sitting there very frustrated. I was a senior in high school, and it was just brutal, dude. Absolutely brutal.
That's tough.
San Francisco was complete. And this is why this is why I laugh at the people that say, well, no, you got to be Justin Herbert. Well, we had Dan Marino, bro. I remember the guy that can throw it 100 miles an hour and 70 yards downfield and all that. But you know what happened with Dan Marino? You didn't give him a running game. You didn't give him half the right side of the line. You didn't give him a defense, and he didn't win anything either. And he put up a whole bunch of stats.
A whole mess of stats.
And when you really look at it, what you need is a team, dude. It's not about a guy that's going to play hero all the time and either save you or unfortunately bury you because he has to do too much to overcome. Go build a team. And I think that's what they're trying to do. And I hope that's what they do around Tua, because when Tua had a team around him in Alabama, he looked pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about Tua as well, man, he's never really been that guy who odds stacked against you, deck stacked against you, is about to just go light up a defense with his arm by himself with no other help. You know, he's not
that's not that guy. Yeah,
he's not like a superhero type quarterback, which is fine. You know, most people aren't superhero type quarterbacks.
By the way,
always had that.
Montana was not that. He was not a superhero in athleticism or arm, but he had some electrifying players around him. A Hall of Fame coach named Bill Walsh, one of the greatest minds to ever coach this game, an all-pro line, you know what I mean? And so he could look like Joe Cool all the time because he could make all the right decisions. But what allowed him to make all the right decisions was the foundation that was around him. And that's something that I don't believe Tua had yet last year at all.
No, and you know, even at those days in Alabama, he had that strong running game to support him, and you know, he's not been that kind of guy where you just say, like, he's not like Lamar where you're just like, all right, like when all else fails, he could do something insane. He'll do something insane. And I think it's unfair to expect him to walk into a mess and single-handedly fix that mess. Now, I think you need pieces around him. You need a ground game. I think that's where Mike McDaniel's scheme and the staff that he's put in place, that's where I think they're going to come into play. I would expect to see an improved run game out of Miami next year. I almost demand to see a day 2 running back. Like I'm this close to demanding it. I need to watch a little more Kenneth Walker, a little more Isaiah Spiller, a little more Brissett Hall, just to make sure, you know, who am I going to attach my wagon to? Because last year I got burned.
It could be a free agent. It could be a free agent also. It could be
a guy. Melvin Gordon, Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, Fournette. I don't like Gordon because he's too injury prone. I'm not a Gordon guy. But Fournette might be a guy that if the price is right, you know.
I don't like the tread. I don't like the tread on Fournette's tires right now. I think he played well in an offense that was excellent. I think he played well on an offense with Tom Brady and had plenty of weapons at receivers. So, you know, opponents couldn't just key in on the run game. But the thing about Fournette, the thing about Gordon, you know, I'm not comfortable with guys who have been used as feature backs for multiple years and are now joining their third team. That's a lot of tread on the tires for a running back, especially for two guys who had extreme usage in college, specifically with Fournette. Even with that year, I think he took that year off. Like there's
he has a lot of usage. He has a little less wear than him. But with Gordon, I really worry about him because he has broken down a lot in his career.
Yeah, but you know who's not broken down?
Who?
Javonte Williams, who they took on day 2.
Yeah.
You know who's looking good up in Detroit, even with injuries? DeAndre Swift, another day 2 running back. You know who almost ran for 2,000 yards this year?
Who?
Jonathan Taylor, another day 2 running back. So, you know, I would, like I said, I'm this close to balling my fist up and pounding a table for a day 2 running back. It's time. I know it's not Chris Greer's strategy, but man, where's your strategy? Where's your philosophy?
I know I disagree with you on that one. I think that was influenced by the last guy and the whole Patriot way of not really investing in running backs normally. I think you'll see them invest in a back this year, some way or another. Now, some of those backs,
since 16.
Some of those backs you talked about, it would be nice to have had them, but they're not nearly as successful here where they compared to where they're at, because in those environments they have better situations. than they have here. And that's where, Jonathan Taylor looks fantastic, but he also has a couple of he has one lineman that might be, I don't know, top 3, top 4 in the entire NFL. And so
the Quentin Nelson is. I mean,
yeah,
that's a good O line, and it's a
that's
good
a
O line
really
in
good
Indy.
O-line.
It's a very
Yeah.
good O line in Tampa.
Yeah.
But
Hell,
I think
I want Tampa's center and left guard here in Miami. Okay.
I think that because I've been writing about this in blurbs over the past few days. I think that the most likely scenario, instead of just seeing a complete overhaul on that offensive line, I think the most likely scenario is we see one guy moved on from, maybe 2 if you include Dieter. But as I believe Mike McDaniel told Dan Levitard, that there's some talent on that offensive line. That's 4 picks when you think of Jackson, Eichenberg, Dieter, and Hunt. Those are 4 top 100 picks that the Dolphins have spent on offensive linemen. You don't just whiff on 4 guys, man. Like, the odds of whiffing on all 4 are low, and I don't care how pessimistic.
They have not whiffed on all 4, because go look at all the other picks. They're hitting on all of them pretty much,
Like,
except Hunter and Iggy, because they don't play. They
like
don't
it's
play,
actually.
so we don't even know if they can play or not, actually. But almost all the other picks are working out. That's why
I wrote a whole story on it.
I've said since the beginning of last year, this is the worst offensive coaching staff the Dolphins have ever had. And Pepe Le Pew was the worst offensive line coach they've ever had. That guy, it's not his fault. He just wasn't ready for this moment here. So for me, that's always been the problem. There's no way they whiffed on all the linemen. 2 to 3 of those linemen will turn out to be good. I bet you. You'll see.
Yeah, and hey, I'm gonna respect Lemuel Jean-Pierre as a fellow Haitian. I'm gonna say his name, but you're right. And I think we spoke about this the first time we ever talked. Before, what was that?
You might
week
be
5?
the Haitian sensation, but he's not.
Whenever we talked before the Tampa game, and I think I said this exact thing, that 2 things can be true. One, as McDaniel said in his intro press conference, man, nobody is a coach until they're a coach. Nobody is an experienced line or head coach until they get that first opportunity. It's got to come at some time. Sure. But with this specific offensive line, with how young they were, with how important development and progress is at this stage of their careers, it was maybe not the best move to have a first-time offensive line coach, although he is familiar with the team. I believe he was the assistant coach last season. But I think Flores kind of ran out of options in that, you convinced somebody basically to come out of retirement, if I'm not mistaken, and you convinced somebody to come to Miami and then fired him a week into training camp, 2 weeks into training camp. That word spreads. This is a very small business, as far as how people talk and how word gets around. It's hard to convince people to come when there's so much turnover on that side of the ball. But no, I don't think that we're going to see a complete overhaul on that offensive line. They got a lot of money, but they're not, like, let's not forget, man, like, the offensive line is not the only thing they need to spend money on. They need playmakers. They need to sign Emmanuel Ogbah. They need to talk it out with Xavier Howard. They need depth at linebacker. They need to figure out their nickel corner. Needham and Justin Coleman, both free agents this year. So, like, they can't afford to just empty the bag into that position. I think they get 1 tackle. I think they move on from Jesse Davis, and I think maybe they draft an interior lineman, and beyond that, they stick with the guys that they've invested heavy picks into to see, okay, like, let's get a staff that is experienced in player development and accountability, like Frank Smith and Tom and Mike Applebaum, excuse me, and like let's see what we can do with the guys that we've invested capital into. I think, like I said, I think that's the most likely scenario coming up here from Miami.
By the way, do you know who is the original Haitian sensation?
Lay it on me.
I'm old, so I've been doing radio for 32 years now. So I've been around for a while. All right, so do you know your culture really well, as in pro athletes from Haiti?
I believe so, but
give me some great American Haitian athletes.
Well, let's start with I believe 2012's leading receiver and Pierre Garçon.
Okay.
Man, you put me on the spot here, man. Like you're gonna get me
have you
you're
been a
gonna get
little
me
Haitian yet since you've been here
you're
in
gonna get me
South Florida?
ostracized. I've
You're
been
going
meaning
a
to get
little.
to
You're going a
Cafe.
little. By the way, you're
I've
going a
been
little
meaning to
Haiti
get
much.
I've
You're
been
down there.
meaning to get to Cafe Creole.
Okay,
Um,
you gotta
I've
go, bro.
had I went to Pierre's for some grill a couple times, and it was early on in my Miami tenure, so I couldn't tell you where it is. I just punched it in Google and grabbed it. But no, man, like being so far out west, you feel a little detached from the culture. So I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to playing a little bit of catch up here. But I think it
very
starts
good.
with
By the way,
appreciating my fellow Haitians.
my first job in radio, I worked at WLQY, which was a Haitian station. And
Mm.
so I produced a lot of Haitian programming in my first year, and so I didn't know Creole, so we did the hand signs and everything. So because I didn't know when they were going to the break, and I would have to tell them, okay, 30 seconds, 1 minute break, that kind of stuff. And it was fun because Haitian people are just absolutely phenomenal, bro. They are
We can
just
agree there.
super hardworking, family oriented individuals. 99% of them, of course, because there's nobody perfect in any culture. But if you meet if anybody that knows a few Haitian people, you know what the hell I'm talking about. If you've been around Miami long enough, you've obviously worked with Haitian people. So give me some other ones.
Jason Pierre Paul
He that
as well.
would have been pretty good as a Haitian sensation right there, because that man has even overcome blowing up his fingers, and he still is able to play the game. That guy's got a lot of heart. That's pretty close, but he's a little older. This is why I
Let me
don't
get
think
a
you'll ever get it. I don't think you'll
let
ever
me
get it. It would have
let me
to
get a
be like
hint.
he plays basketball, played basketball, played for the Clippers. He played for a couple teams, but he had a lot of time with the Clippers. He's the original Haitian sensation, baby. Back
Hmm.
in the day. Olden Polynice.
I
You
did not
know?
know he was Haitian. I remember Olden Polynice very well. Didn't he play for the Blazers a little bit too?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
number zero?
What are you gonna
No.
say, Sean? Wait a minute. What are you gonna say?
What year was that?
I want to say mid 90s. I want to say, look it up. Olden Polynice.
I gotta
Wait,
pass, man. I was born
no,
in
no, you
'92.
totally
Yeah.
get a pass. I knew I was gonna get you, but since you mentioned Haitian, I wanted to remind you there because he's. And by the way, Olden, I had him on the show too. Really cool dude. Also, if you ever get to meet him, yes, Sean.
No, the reason I asked because there was a wrestler who was the Haitian sensation, Tyree Pride,
Oh, really?
in the '80s in Florida Championship Wrestling, and he used to travel. They used to do the
Also,
Bahamas
he's
and
got
all
the
those.
original.
Yes,
I had no idea. I was
yes.
calling Olden Polynice. Me and Ed Kaplan. Because Ed Kaplan and I would obviously we're one of the few that would be talking about basketball at night, and we were Olden Polynice fans, and so yeah,
'80s Championship Wrestling from Florida with
yeah,
Gordon Soley.
yeah, we would cut the cool part is Marcel is because we're in Miami, right? If you ever like find a Haitian athlete that's becomes famous and all that, when you try to reach out to them and you tell them you're in Miami, they're always willing to do the interview, bro. Every single time. Because we're Haiti West. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're little Havana, we're little Haiti, we're the sixth borough. I was just telling all the guys here at Slomin's, it's like, yeah, dude, we're the sixth borough. All you guys come back down and retire over in South Florida. You know what I mean? It's funny how our community is like a piece of so many other communities. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, let's hope that with Miami's current housing market situation, let's hope that you know we don't get too priced out of Lil Haiti. Let's hope that Lil Havana remains as authentic as possible. It's tough out here. I see I'm seeing the
It's
story.
moving west. It's all moving west, bro. It's all moving west. They're taxing all those people out, bro. Slowly but surely, everybody's been getting taxed out because they built everything from the water, and so they keep going west now. So it just keeps those neighborhoods. The taxes are going through the roof, and so people are going to have to end up moving out. That happened in Miami Beach years ago when
Mm,
the old people dominated Miami Beach, and they were out there with their metal detectors and everything all over the beach. And then all of a sudden, the Art Deco money started coming in and clubs and all that, and boom, old people had to move out. Now you don't
I
see a lot of
couldn't.
old people anymore in South Beach. When I was a kid, dude, everybody there was an average age of 70 or over, bro, in Miami
Hey,
Beach.
I
Now,
just
South Beach, forget about it. Now it's all young and international.
couldn't imagine living in South Beach. I guess unless you live and work in South Beach and you don't really have to leave, but like having to deal with the causeway every day would be, that'd be enough to make me leave Miami. Not
I'd
to
have
mention, man, the gas is a full dollar. It's like a full dollar more expensive there, which I thought was ridiculous until I got here for the week.
I saw
And
that.
my God, man, let me tell you, I landed in San Jose, and the first gas station I saw, the cheapest gas was, I want to say 505.
Wow.
Like the whatever 87 unleaded, or I mean, the lowest caliber you could get was 505, man. Like
And I just saw it here in Long Island, a little over $4.
shit, like
The diesel one was over $4, and then the other one was like
mm,
3 something. So yeah, it's gone up there. By the way, I saw your tweet that after they hired Sam Madison, you wanted Ricky Williams as the running backs coach.
I realized I missed the joke. I missed the layup. You know what I mean? Like
When I
I
said
said the city. I said the city might. I said the city might melt. The city what might burn was right there, and I missed it. And that's something I'm gonna be thinking about for a while now. You got to hit your layups in this business, or you
Bernie and
follow.
Ricky, there's things to talk about there with Ricky. Yeah, there's no
Nah,
doubt
I think
about
it'd be cool. But in all seriousness, I love the Sam Madison hire. Tapping into the guys who mean so much to the franchise and played their position at such a high level. It's tough losing Charles Burks. It's tough losing Gerald Alexander, but to replace Burks with a guy like Sam Madison is, that's a home run. That is a home run
it.
hire.
And remember,
for
Sam's
McGrath.
gonna bleed this. This matters to him even more than just a job and a check. You know what I mean? I mean, listen, I think sometimes we are disrespectful to players when we think that they might tank or they don't play hard or whatever. I think 98% of the players in the NFL are just like you and me, that they take pride in their job and they want to work hard. You know what I'm saying? And I think Sam Madison, while Gerald Alexander and all these guys would work hard here, but I think with Sam, it'll mean a little bit more because it's the Dolphins and he knows how it's been since he left. I'm sure he wants to be a part of it rising again and maybe even accomplish things that he wasn't able to accomplish when he was a player here. So that's the good thing about that it'll mean a lot to him being a Dolphins coach.
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, I think it's a slam dunk home run hire for McDaniel, who's low key. He's putting together a pretty quality staff. I am intrigued with what they'll be able to accomplish. I'm trying to hold out on, commenting too much and raising expectations too much until I see what personnel moves they make.
Right.
Because you can have all the coaches in the world, you still need talent, man. Talent wins out still in this league. So
although when I look at Darrell Bevell and then I look at Charlie Fry, I'm like, that's a whole world of difference of QB coach right there. You know what I mean? When I start to look at play design and I look at what I see from Mike McDaniel and I see what I saw this past year, I'm expecting. I'm demand. You know how you're almost on the brink of demanding a running back in that second or third round. Well, guess what? I'm demanding a running game. I'm demanding a better offensive line play because what was here last year was a disaster. The three stooges arguing with each other about what play to run before you hand it off to Tua every 40 seconds. Are you kidding me? You know what I mean? It just I'm kind of already from what I see. I expect a better offense from the Dolphins already.
I do expect a better offense. I'm not expecting a top 10 right now, but I expect an offense that, like, we don't all, media fans alike, don't collectively groan when they take the field. You know what I mean? Like it was getting to a point where, like,
boring.
it's like, okay, here we go again. All right, let's quick pass, punt. All right, let's get back on defense. Let's see what these guys are going to do. Like, let's see what kind of pressure they're going to bring. What kind of plays they're going to make in the secondary. Are they going to get a turnover? Will X score? I think like will X or the offense score? It was like a legitimate bet that I think some people would take. At any given game last year, like that's insane. That shouldn't happen. So I'm expecting at least a watchable offense, because that offense last year, it wasn't watchable, man. Like, I watched it because I get paid to do it, but like, if I'm sitting on the couch on Sunday and the Dolphins are on offense, I'm probably going to see, okay, what's going on red zone, what's on the other game. Like, it's not it didn't have, but it also didn't have the proper weapons to do so. I mean, like, you can only throw the ball to Jalen Waddle so many times. Devontae Parker is in and out the lineup. Mike Gesicki was, his production was on and off throughout the year. No run game. So like, I think that there are improvements to be made on this offense, and but I think that the minds at work now, they've got what it takes to turn it into a reasonable, at least a unit that can hold its own. This should still be the defense should still be the strength of this team, but this offense should be able to at least be respectable in 2022.
I'm with you there. I'm with you. I expect them to definitely make major improvements. I just think the IQ level and the experience is just superior already from what I see on paper compared to the offensive coaches that are walking out of the building and the ones walking in. So that in itself, I just think will have better results. You know what I mean? And I don't know if you saw that video that Brian Baldinger did of Mike McDaniel 2 years ago, with all the different blocking schemes and all that. And he was just, praising him left and right, going, this is a really smart coach. This is 2 years ago, not now. So that's actually pretty cool. And if anybody sees that, I think that'll tell you right away. You'll go, okay, this is a completely different, system that we're about to see than what we've had here in the past.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. I'm so behind on draft coverage with everything else that we've had to do in regards to covering the Dolphins. That there's a world of things I can't wait to sit at my computer and just dive and lose myself for a few days. But no, I am optimistic. I'm optimistic about what this offense will look like in 2022. I still am. And we differed a little bit when I brought this up a few weeks ago, but I am still of the mindset that Miami needs to add a high quality backup quarterback. And I spoke about this with Kevin Cole of PFF yesterday. There's a line, right? Like, let's say the line is right here for backup quarterbacks. Above that line are guys who, when you bring them in, it's going to immediately incite controversy as to, okay, is he going to challenge for a starting job? And right now, that's like the Mitch Trubisky's, the Jimmy Garoppolo's. Gardner Minshew straddles it a little bit, but I still think he's below the line of the high quality backups who can go up and put up numbers for you if your starter goes down, but they're not going to challenge them for a starting job. And that's the Nick Mullins, the CJ Beathard's, the Gardner Minshews of the world. The Dolphins need a guy bottom of that line, but as close to it as possible. And that's where I'm looking at Minshew, and I'm looking at Beathard, and I'm looking at Mullins. Guys that are, we mentioned Bridgewater, we mentioned Tyrod Taylor. These are guys that are going to bring leadership to your locker room, I think. And but I don't know if either of them are necessarily going to make a bigger impact than Jacoby Brissett did last year. And optics of that looks and sounds bad, but let's call it what it is here. I just want them to have a guy where, I used this analogy yesterday, that quality backup is not to push Tua per se, but the ship's not sinking. I just want to know where the lifeboats are. I want to make sure I know, okay, what hallway do I have to get down? Have they been used this century, or have they just been sitting on the side of the boat for the past 30, 40, 50 years? There's some water that I'm feeling uncomfortable about seeping in through the hole. It's not sinking. There's no emergency here, but I want to make sure I know where I can go. So in this analogy, if the ship does start to sink next year, if Tua is for some inexplicable reason bad next year, you've got a guy who can say, okay, Tua, you might not be having it. You might not be having it. Nick, CJ, Gardner, please. Or Huntley, Tyler, come.
Okay.
Just keep us, keep the shit running, please. Keep the ship running, please. So, I don't want this to be misconstrued as I'm saying like Tua needs somebody who's going to push him for a starting job. No, but I think they need a guy who, if all else fails next year, a guy who can successfully bridge the rest of that gap until 2023, when they have 2 first-round picks and a far better quarterback class coming up.
Good stuff as always. Follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. Marcel, as always, I appreciate you taking some time talking a little Miami Dolphins, my friend. We will catch you next week, man. Thank you, sir.
Definitely. I'll take it easy.
You got it, baby. There you go. You now have the edge on the Miami Dolphins with great information from Marcel Louis Jacques.